What's up, guys? So my name is Kevin Eassa, and I have traveled to 47 countries, and I have been to Peru 3 times, soon to be 4. And I thought it'd be time for me to do a top 5 things to do in Peru. It is by far my favorite country in the world. Between the culture, the food, the outdoors, the mountains, the backpacking, the things to do, it is definitely overall my favorite country I've ever been to, and it's probably why I have been back so many times and why I cannot wait to go back this April. If you're going to Peru, I highly recommend putting these at the top of your list, or if you're planning a trip to Peru, I hope that this helps you as a guide. So first and foremost, I want to go over Lake Humantay. So Humantay is actually a mountain in the Vilcabamba range in the Andes of Peru, and it's in the Cusco region, and Lake Humantay is right under it, as well as Humantay Glacier. The most beautiful lake in the world under like the biggest mountain you've ever seen. It's like aqua blue, green, some yellow shades. It always pretty much changes based on the light, but it has this really cool gradient of color, and the mountain behind it is just enormous. It is so freaking cool, and it just has these pointy tips. It's also part of the Salcantay Trek, and it's about a 3.5 hour bus ride or taxi ride from Cusco. I highly recommend doing it as early as possible. It is a super hot and popular destination nowadays, as it's been growing in popularity. So I do recommend going as early as possible, but it is absolutely stunning. The hike itself definitely was steep, but all in all, it was a relatively short hike. Didn't take us that long at all. Steep, but definitely worth it in the end. Alright, so number 2 is Huacachina, and this is probably the most unique place I've ever been in my life, because it is literally an entire little mini city and village in the middle of like the biggest sand dunes. It's just like this desert oasis, and there's a body of water there in the middle of town as well. So it's just a really cool and unique place. I went during a tour from Lima, and I did a 2-day tour that was Paracas and then Huacachina, and then we spent the night there. And for all things included, as well as accommodation, food and transportation and tours, it was actually really cheap. So super easy to get there, and it's just beautiful. So it's a desert oasis in the city of Ica in southwestern Peru. It has green waters of the Huacachina Lagoon. There's palm trees, super high sand dunes, like it's unbelievable. And one of the best things to do there is to get a dune buggy and just ride around the sand dunes. And you can also go sandboarding. So the people there will take you to the top of the sand dunes, and you can just rip it down it like snowboarding on sand. It's actually a super cool experience. And then also we hiked up to the top for sunrise. Super cool, and it was just amazing to see this place go from night to day at the top of the sand dunes. Alright, so for number 3, it is Pocoyo Mountain. And if you have ever heard of Peru or looked into Peru, you've probably heard of Rainbow Mountain. So this is actually referring to Vivikunca Rainbow Mountain, which is the most well-known, most Instagram rainbow mountain in Peru, and extremely touristy. I went there last year at the end of the Osangate Trek, and it was unbelievable how many people were there. We got there first because we were going up for sunrise, but afterwards, on our way down, it was just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So there is another rainbow mountain that is lesser known. It's called Pocoyo Mountain. It's kind of like the alternative rainbow mountain, but it's just incredible. When you get there, the entire landscape is flooded with little mini rainbow mountains. Aside from the big Pocoyo Rainbow Mountain, there's awesome red and green landscapes from like red rock and red clay. The rice terraces are absolutely beautiful, and the entire way up you're actually driving alongside a red river, which is just one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Just like almost a blood red river. It's super cool. When we went, it was way less people than Vivikunca Rainbow Mountain, so highly recommend this one as well. Okay, number 4 is the Salinares salt mines in Peru. This is also known as Maras, in the town of the Sacred Valley of the Incas. So just 40 kilometers north of Cusco. The town is well known for the salt evaporation ponds. So in the Sacred Valley, and you'll get to this spot. Once you're towards Salinares, you have to actually go down a mountain into the valley. And then once you're there, it's just these insane salt mines. For as far as you can see, it looks like just miles and miles of salt mines. And it's super unique, and there's still people working on them, so they're still in access. You can actually buy some of the salt that is there, which is super cool. You can just walk around these salt mines. Super cool place, and it's super easy to get to, so this is definitely on the top 5 list. If you're going to Peru, you definitely have to see this. There's over 5,000 salt ponds. It's awesome, and it's been used since Inca times. Last but certainly not least is number 5, Machu Picchu. So this is an Inca citadel set high in the Andes Mountains of Peru above the Urubamba River Valley. This was built in the 15th century, and then it was abandoned. Then it was refound in the early 1900s, and it was excavated, and they cut down a lot of the trees so you could actually see the ancient ruins. It is probably the most holy place in Peru and most sacred to the people in Peru. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Every time that I've been, I think I've been about 5 or 6 times now between all the trips I've been there, it is just such a special place. And it's extremely crowded with tourism because it is the number 1 place that people go to when they travel to Peru. Nonetheless, you're there, no matter how many people are there, it is such a special place to just be there and just see it and just imagine what has been there for so many centuries. There's tons of hikes here. You can do Huayna Picchu, you can do Machu Picchu Mountain. This is also the end of a few treks. The Inca Trail ends here. So there's just tons and tons of stuff here. It's an amazing place. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this top 5 guide of things to do in Peru. It is definitely the coolest and most beautiful country I've ever been to. If you've been or if you're planning, I hope this little guide helped. If you'd like to see more videos like this, more adventure, more travels, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.